Hello again, it's Del Ray Cross, and this anachronism, which I'm reading individually in little filmed snippets, just for kicks, was posted Saturday, June 19th, 2021 to the blog, which has all the visual poems and graphics, and now I'm just kind of completing the set, so to speak, by reading them all. And they're not available anywhere here except the YouTube playlist, I guess, that I've set up. But maybe someday I'll put them into the blog as well. This one's called The Park Bench. It's 3,269, I believe. I'd had no idea it was foggy before I stepped out some 30 minutes previous to resting on the bench. I suppose there were two benches. At first, I sat under the drooping yellow bells, breathing in the intense, so sweet you'd think it'd be sickly aroma of the bells, which were looking a bit haggard. Had seen better times. The trees always seem in bloom. Have been there for a few years now, but as I sat facing the traditional department store, under the canopy of the browning yellow bells, a gentleman kept approaching my bench looking for, he said, his wallet and his torch, which he just lost. I could certainly empathize with his loss, but I was already a bit anxious from the rush of getting out and about before dark, which I only just barely did. I fussed around a bit with my bag of snacks, which I just purchased at the pharmacy on the way to the square, got everything situated in my backpack, and stood up and walked around to the more open part of the square. Sat down on a chilly but empty bench that had a panoramic view of the city's upper scale shopping district around me, wondering what I might have to say about what I saw, how I was feeling, what I was thinking. The people, mostly masked, walking to and fro across the square, some at more of a diagonal, in essence walking from intersection to intersection, and others, would walk more parallel to a couple of the streets that tucked the park into the square. Although it was the heart of dusk and quickly darkening, given that the glorious and surprising fog had come in at some point during the evening, breaking what had been a week-long heat wave. For the first few minutes, there were still presumed tourists, or people like me who would pause to snap a photo or of the commemorative monument that rose high into the air and up into the sky from the center of the square, or of themselves, or of each other, before moving along on their diagonal or horizontal or vertical way to wherever it was each was going. But within what seemed like no time at all, maybe 20 minutes, my thoughts, still a swirling and unsettled admixture. It was as dark as night gets in a square that is nestled among brightly lit department stores and hotels. Which is to say, it was as late as I had intended to stay. So, without really accomplishing the goal that I had initially set out to do, it had, I suppose, been an hour since I first ventured out. I leaned forward and rose from the metal bench, which I had only just warmed a little bit during my visit, and I turned in the general direction of home and began my walk back, where once I'd arrived and settled down a bit, I set about typing this to send to you at a decent hour. I hope it arrives with good cheer, peacefully and pleasantly, and that it brings you a little something that catches and stays, perhaps brightening or enlightening your evening or morning or your afternoon, as such efforts can sometimes, on the best of days, yield. I am, as always, indebted, and yours truly, signing off.